Let's make the height and length of this bookend variable. For that, we're going to include two parameters. Let's give them measurements in centimeters. So we choose centimeters. We start with the length. We will say that the minimum length is 5 centimeters and the maximum length is 50 centimeters, which can vary from centimeter to centimeter. It could be half a centimeter or a millimeter, and the initial value, let's say it's 30. We save it, and the second parameter, we're going to make a duplicate of this. Instead of long, it's going to be high. Also in centimeters, minimum 5, maximum 50. And here the default value will be 25. We save it. Now we are going to use these parameters in our parts. And the first one is the vertical piece. We haven't named it before, we name it now. We say the length instead of being. In this case, the length does not affect the vertical piece. Here would be the height, so we copy the parameter height, and the height will replace the 25 centimeters that we had set manually. We save, and when entering a parameter, we redraw. We see that the parameters appear. When modifying this high, we see that we modify the size of this piece. We would do the same with the length. We copy it here, we edit this other element that we can give the horizontal name, and here this length that we have put of 30, we will put it which is the length, and to do it correctly, minus the 2 centimeters of thickness. If we want the thickness of this board to be 1, 2, or 3 centimeters, we can choose a type of parameter, which is options. Here we are going to give the option thin, with the value of 1 centimeter, normal, with 2 centimeters, thick, with 3 centimeters. And it does not have to be linear. We can put one that's extra thick of 5 centimeters. The name of this parameter is thickness. We save it. We update to display it. Here appears a drop-down with these values does not yet affect because we have not entered the parameter in the parts. We do it first with the vertical, where Lx, instead of being 0.2, will be this thickness. Now we see that as we change the values, this thickness changes. We can see that when we set it to thin, there is a gap because we have not yet incorporated it in the horizontal. We go to the horizontal, and in this case, instead of being length x, length minus 0.02, it will be length minus thickness, and the position will not start at 0.02, but it will also start at the current thickness. Here we see that by changing the thickness, the size is the same. But it changes the thickness of this piece, and if we want to change the thickness of the piece below, it will be the height in z that also has the thickness, with which the parameter of the thickness we control it with this choice between fixed values, and the others we can do it between the continuous values, defined by the manufacturer.